Hey everybody, Josh here at our Coldwater, Michigan Superstore with this roughly, 4,300 pound Rockwood Roo behind us. Actually came out to re-record this intro because I missed a couple things my first time around. Things that you're going to see as I go through the RV later. Like, I actually had recorded a couple segments and I spotted some things and went, oh, no, that kind of invalidates something that I said earlier, some things that I missed. So I wanted to come out here and give it kind of a fresh start. Because initially I saw a couple glitches on the outside, I didn't see anything on the inside. And I do think the RV is perfectly campable, but it's got a couple concerning points that I think you folks deserve to know about, and I want to make sure that I'm sending the right message right from the start for you. And this is kind of what I mean. At a glance from a distance, the bed ends on this are a little bit of a cream color. That's because Rockwood used to offer a champagne skin or the standard white base skin, which is ironic because it's now literally exactly the opposite. But at a glance, it almost made it look dirty and dingy, even though it's totally not. I did notice there is a little bit of weathering going on some of the decals here. And at some point, it looks like, unfortunately, that plastic holdback might have got ripped out of that door, which is an unfortunately common thing with those, although it has been replaced. And someone at some point added a larger folding entry handle, which is no longer with us. But I saw all three of those as I'm walking up to the door, so I was kind of like, what am I gonna see when I open this thing? And at first glance, I walked in and went, ooh, yeah, this is real awful nice. And it is, overall, considering it's a 14-year-old 2008, it's not bad. It's not flawless, though. And actually, what I'm going to start with are a couple, we'll say defects, a couple non-awesome features that I discovered. Like, what first got me looking as I walked in and I went, what? They fabric wrapped the slide fascia. And immediately my why did they do that alarms went off. Sometimes some people just have some interesting decor choices, but they didn't really do stuff like that elsewhere in the RV. Everything else is still the raw standard wood. So I'm like, what is going on here? So I started looking around and I kind of found my answer as I started looking down the wall. First, I spotted over here a couple little camper acne skin bumps. Now, that is nice, cute, flowery talk, which basically means mold spores in the walls. If we're not, let's not mince words. There has been water in this wall. So I started looking here, and I noticed it really kind of came from the bottom of the slide and went up. So either water wicked in under the slide seal and then soaked up into the wall, or it came from another direction. But I noticed it was slighter there and heavier here, so I kept going this way. And then I started noticing the telltale sign of the rippling wall panel here. This RV had, I think right up here possibly, some kind of roof seam failure at some point. Doesn't appear to be doing that currently, but it has had that happen. Now, I'm thinking that probably caused some swelling and some damage to that slide fascia, so they did a very inexpensive and arguably nice looking, I suppose depends on who you ask if you like that kind of print right there, fix. Now, I noticed the slide floor isn't soft. I noticed the floor around the slide isn't soft, nor is it discolored. So it did stay localized to the top area there. It sucks that it happened at all, but it did happen. Then as I sat down where I'm at right now, I noticed it was darker over by the sofa than it was, or darker by the dinette than it is the sofa. And I realized it's because the light above that is missing. Again, if I had to theorize, when there was the leak above the slide, it may have affected that area of the wiring within the slide. And considering it's a laminated structure, trying to fish wiring and replace wiring through that, very, very difficult. They probably figured, well, it's good enough, let's let it ride. And again, some of that is theory. I've got a lot of experience looking at these things, so I'm pretty confident in the things that I'm telling you, but I also want you to be confident in our dealership when you purchase from us. Now, this is a laminated floor, and Rockwood's flooring from this era was sometimes known for developing some soft spots. And I will flat out tell you, you can kind of see a couple spots where you can see some horizontal lines. Those are some of the floor beam structures in there. Now, that being said, I'm going to point you straight down, so if you're motion sensitive, close your eyes. When I'm walking, I can walk straight across this thing. Not a problem. There is a spot around here somewhere. It's hard to find. If I toe tap around enough, I can find, I can feel the floor shake below my feet a little bit, but I'm a 200+ pound dude walking all over this thing. Zero hesitation. You could probably hold a country line dance on this thing, and it's going to hold just fine, unless my cousin Ricky's out there, and cousin Ricky, he's a biggin. Never mind. You get the idea. Oh, one more thing. Shower surround. Looks like a good old Michigan cold crack affected this thing. We've had some nasty polar vortex winters. It got cold enough. It looks like that cracked. They put some sealant on it so you're not spilling water down into the wall there. And it is a cosmetic only defect at this stage, but it is also there. It is a defect. You deserve to know about it. So, all that being said, for the most part, I don't really see where any of that actually affects the use of the RV. If they don't give you confidence, I don't think you should buy this camper. And I think that's being very fair. Oh, I just also noticed something. Those are not the original window shades, nor could they be, because of fire code. Those would normally have to have been metallic. So those were replaced at some point at the same time, though it doesn't offend me. If I really had to guess, based on what I've seen out of this RV, its history, it was used for a while. Someone let it fall into a state of disrepair. It probably got sold on the cheap to a fix-it and flip-it specialist who did some low-dollar stuff to get it back in working order. And here it is. Is it flawless? No. Is it perfectly functional? Yeah, I do think it is. But you know what? If what you're seeing here, if you're like, nope, when I start seeing the acne bumps on the wall, that means run. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to argue with you. Don't buy this one. Just appreciate the fact that we went out of our way to give you that information so that you could make an educated decision. Because things like that slide, soft spot on the wall, the flooring that I've talked about, I could have just done a quick video, could have walked past it, could have just taken some photos. You never would have known it was there. So, if this is the one, that's perfectly fine. We've definitely got something else for you. Give our team a call and know that we will definitely shoot you straight. That being said, what we got here is a camper where, it's only like 4,300 pounds or whatever. It is a small towing camper that gives you the sleeping space and living space of like a 32-foot bunkhouse, which is kind of hard to match in something for 4,300 pounds. And a little bit closer look at the bathroom here, other than just the cold crack on the paneling. It looks like maybe there was a towel bar on the wall that's no longer there, but I do also see where those points were sealed up, thankfully, which is nice. Larger vent fan here in the ceiling of the bathroom. And normally I do prefer like a glass enclosed shower, but if you notice the toilet's position on this one, the shower curtain's actually a really good idea because it gives you that extra elbow room for right-handed users so that you, can take care of yourself, do your business. So how's this thing look with the slide closed? Well, closing her all up for road mode here. You see what's nice? You can get to the kitchen, you can get to the bathroom, and if I back up a little bit, you see you can also get to the front bed, although I do have that closed, just so you kind of have an idea of what she's going to look like. Now, I figure as long as we got it closed up, I don't always have the opportunity to do this. Take a look at it from the outside, especially since typically when I'm outside on a hybrid camper, you don't really get to see the, hybrid bed end doors and how they've weathered. And just like the sidewall there's some crack-a-lacking on the decals. I'm not going to hide anything like that. And like I said, left the baggage door open like an idiot under the sofa there. When she's all closed up, she's actually fairly small. But hey, as long as she's open, let's take a look. This is really classic Forest River styling and design, but putting storage on the face of the slide, especially here on a hybrid, something very handy. A lot of trailers don't do that today. Rockwood's still one of the few that will do that where they can. Another reason I wanted to get you down here is anytime I start using the word leak, well, I was going to say leak's a 4-letter word in camping, but leak is actually just a 4-letter word. But you get what I mean. It's a scary bad word. So that would have been the front side of the slide, the area that would have been affected by any sort of leak, water penetration, anything like that. And it looks fine in there. So again, it does appear to be something that was limited to the sidewall. What I'm looking for right here is the date code on the tires, which is 52 of 17. So those tires had a birth date almost the very, very end of 2017, very beginning of 2018. By some standards, some people would say, well, if the tread looks good, if they look okay, just keep an eye on the tire pressure. There's also going to be a lot of people who are going to say, they're that old. If I'm going to be towing it, I want to put fresh sneakers on it. Now, right next to us over here is a Bell Tire location that does some very good work with us, to the point that it doesn't even make sense for us to try to stock RV tires, because when they do nothing but tires all day, every day, there's just no way to really, compete with that. So instead, we embrace it and we formed a partnership with them. So if you are looking for tires, give us a call, and that's something that we can work with them and maybe try to get you a pretty fair figure on something like that. And I apologize for being right up next to the building here. Can't give you my normal preferred big widespread shots. When this was brand new, it would have included a little grill that hooked off the side of the trailer over here. But again, it's gone through a couple hands. It's gone through a couple years. I don't see it here anymore. It's weird to see a tongue-mounted spare tire. Normally that probably would have been off the back, but at some point, somebody moved it. Only thing it makes me wonder is, would that fight with a weight distribution system, or is it okay right there? If we were trying to hitch you up and we found out that it wasn't a safer idea, we'd let you know. So if you appreciate the way we show you the ups and the downs, trying to give you a fair peek at these things, hit that like button on our video to help spread the message of our channel here and the good work that we do, or try to do anyway. I don't know, I guess that's for you to decide. And if you're new with us, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can catch the next one going through. Even if this isn't the right one, we always have something rolling through here. So when you're ready, we're ready. And until then, we'll just keep shooting you straight. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.